Yo, what's up everyone? So we are here today to do the Dirac Myriad. And, well, recently I haven't been posting anything because I've had this eye infection. It was pretty bad, but I'm now recovering, so I do have the time to edit videos and stuff like that. I have been playing daily, just not as much as I usually do, and I somehow got back into Myriad, but I usually don't retain in Myriad. In fact, I don't think I've ever retained in Myriad. And the reasons are because it's really time consuming. And the second one, which is the more important one, is that I think I can't clear everything, so retention is pretty much impossible at the moment. And that's probably because of me. But at some point, it's really a lack of damage. So I lack possibly the most powerful physical support stick at this point in time, Gustav Klimt M. I do have TNB, but unfortunately I did not manage to get my hands on the most important part. And yeah, you'll see, if you don't have at least TNB, it's gonna be really tough. So basically I've been told that in the Dirac, most of the time, maybe like 95% of the time, everyone just goes with the Herrscher of the Void, the Celestial Hymn, and the Snowy Sniper. So you'll go full Selene Ascendant with Keys of the Void or Tranquil Arias for the Herrscher, full Colin Hymn with the 11 Sacred Relic for the Celestial Hymn, and Gustav Klimt T and B with Bronya Sloth for the Snowy Sniper. For her weapon, it's pretty much anything that's easily activated with like a low SP cost, but you could also bring the Briareus PRI or the Quantum Destroyer. Alright, so like I mentioned earlier, I haven't been doing a lot of Myriad plays, so I'm not entirely sure if I can skip this floor. I'll just use like 1 or 2 mobs to check it out. So in Red Lotus, I'll usually skip the first 3 floors and just fully do the 4th one, but I'm pretty sure I can't do that here. Alright, so that was easier than I thought it'd be, so I'm gonna try one more. Okay, so it's by itself. These solo units, they're usually pretty tanky. So if this one's okay, I'll just skip the floor and do the boss. Alright, that looks okay, so I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna skip the floor, and yeah, look at its HP, it's gonna die anyway, so I'm just gonna finish this one and do the boss. Okay, so I decided to go for another team, because I want to make use of the weather, because, you know, you're taking more lightning damage. Also, maybe I'll be switching teams instead of just using the Herrscher of the Void, you know, just to see if other teams can work out as well. So I think this is a pretty standard team, Phoenix, Phantom, Iron, but the last one should be Shadow Knight. So yeah, if you're not in Myriad, then there's no need to worry about like proper team combinations, but if you do play in Myriad a lot, then, you know, it's good to find out what people use because you really have to maximize your damage. Otherwise, at this kind of disturbance, once the bleeding kicks in, it's gonna take you out in a matter of seconds, so you really have to be on your toes, and you really have to take out your opponent as quickly as possible. Whoops. I should have waited for Newton B. Also, I wanted to do like one more Phantom Iron rotation for her to have enough SP. She really doesn't need too much SP to use her ulti, which is one of the really good points of Phantom Irons. So it's only 35, and if you do activate her QTE, when she comes out, she can gain like maybe half of that amount, which is really, really good. You know, there aren't any support Valkyries that can do that, and you know, she is one of the few that can even double up as a DPS if you really lack DPS units. So yeah, Phantom Iron, she has been one of the best additions to the roster of Valkyries so far. Whoa, that was a lot of damage. Okay. Yeah, I switched her out because she does actually have an iframe when she's doing her QTE. It's just a short while, which you saw, could tank like a few hits from Ganesha. But yeah, that was a really big risk. It's a good thing she wasn't taken out in that attack. Alright, well that wasn't too bad, but if this were Red Lotus, it'd only take me like 30 seconds, so there probably isn't gonna be any more floor skipping. Too bad. Alright, so we're back with a different combination, and this time, we're gonna try using Phantom Iron as the DPS. So she might not look as strong as she could be, because my... what was that item again? Oh yeah, Genome Reaper is still at 4 stars. I haven't had enough Honkai crystals to upgrade it. I've been upgrading a lot of stuff, and I have been wanting to upgrade the Genome Reaper. It's just Phantom Iron is used more of like as a support, and I haven't been using her on the bosses that she can actually take down in the Memorial Arena, so I'm just gonna leave her weapon right there. But right now, as it is, you know, even with the 4-star Genome Reaper, I'm using Monet T and M with Schrodinger Band B, you know, for like better charging. Even though she doesn't need a lot of SP to summon that robotic dog, she does need SP to actually retain its presence, so that's why I just threw it in. I'm not too sure if it's like an optimal build. It definitely isn't, but I do not have Caravaggio. I'm not too sure if that's how you pronounce it, but yeah, probably is. And that's why I'm going to use Monet instead, which is also good, really. So you could also use Shakespeare T with Nagamitsu M, and, you know, basically anything else that you want on B. Probably attack speed and movement speed would be good because she does increase her attack with movement speed with Genome Reaper, so that would be a good combination. But like I said, she is ultimately an elemental support Valkyrie, so don't try to like use her primarily as a DPS unless you are like really new and you don't have a lot of Valkyries and you happen to get her from the gacha. She can actually fill the role, as you can see, you know, like what I'm doing right now, but it's not what she's built for, so, you know, it's like Yamabuki armor. No one uses Yamabuki armor to go around punching people with Bunny 19C, right? But you can, I don't know, maybe if, like, she's your best offensive option, and you only have Stigmata for Bronya, and, like, Yamabuki armor is your only triple S Valkyrie, then yeah, sure, but you don't usually do that. So, like I said, she can do that, but it's not what she's built for. So, you know, she's generally a really, really good Valkyrie if you use her for the right purposes. Alright, so we are back with this team. I did mention it earlier, Phoenix, Phantom Iron, and Shadow Knight. I think it's a really, really good team for the Infinity Abyss, especially if we play in Myriad. And just for your information, I am not doing these fights like back-to-back. They're actually split up. I'm doing them across the span of the entire Dirac Abyss, whatever, duration. Oh yeah, because I'm still recovering from that eye infection, so like I mentioned earlier as well, I can't play too much in a day, but I'm getting better, so yeah. So right now the equipment on Shadow Knight is Nuada's Grief. Previously it was called, wait, what was it called again? God, I forgot the original name. Yada Gauntlets. Yeah, that's what it was called. Okay, so so it's Nuada's Grief. I'm just gonna use the new name, why not? And then Monet T and B with Nagamitsu M. And then on Phoenix, it's JST T and B with Newton B because I couldn't really think of anything else for B. Maybe there are a lot better stigmas, but I don't know. And then for Phantom Iron, it's Tesla Band TB with, I think, Newton B as well. So, yeah, let me know if you think that works. Let me know if there's a better combination out there. For me, that's pretty much how I go about doing it. Since we're on the lower floors, I might as well take the time to test it out. But generally, I do have a lot of weird combinations with Valkyries and Stigmata, so don't take what you're seeing here and think that it's a good combination. Even though this is Myriad, and even though I am getting through without too much of a problem, don't forget we are still on the second floor. And even if the combinations work on higher floors, it doesn't necessarily mean they're good. They could be optimized even further. But I like to have fun with what I have, because I do have a lot of weird stuff, and sometimes you never know. Yeah, some combinations might be good. So why I went with Tesla Band T and B. Sorry. Tesla Band T and M. I do not have B, by the way. Oh, great. This portal. This one doesn't work for me. Jesus. Come on. Is it bugged? Do you guys have the problem? Oh, okay. Wait. Did I have to, like, stay on it? Let's try it out again. So, alright, let's... Wait, it worked this time. Wow, that's freaky. Alright, so anyway, like I was saying, Tesla Band T and M on Phantom Iron. So, for support on a lightning DPS, you only need Tesla Band M because it increases the lightning damage for your allies. But why I have T and B on her is because, you know, she could kind of double up as a DPS if she's needed. In Myriad, the damage that the monsters deal to you is really high. So if you make one mistake on the higher floors, namely 3 and 4, one hit could kind of almost kill you if it doesn't. So, you know, then you might have to let your DPS stay in reserve until you get like a HP pack so that you can come back in. So sometimes it might be good to have a secondary DPS, but of course it's still better to have 2 supports and 1 DPS. And if you kind of screw up, just quit the round and come back in, because that's how it works. Oh yeah, that's a really good point about Shadow Knight. She can actually like pull enemies together, so you don't really need an attractor. Even though Phantom Iron's dog can actually do that, but you have to kind of rely on its skill rotation. So, you know, having both of them is even better. But yeah, I'm still pretty sure I'm not properly equipped on some of the Valkyries in the team, so if you guys have any better advice, do let me know in the comment section down below. And, you know, until then, I will still be using the same combination with the same equipment. I'll maybe switch it up a bit once in a while, I guess. Sometimes I think like some other good options would be the Somerset, you know, the Theresa T and Himeko M. That pops that bubble thing and increases your elemental damage on whoever's affected by that. That is the most common, like, elemental support, especially like if you're F2P. That is just insanely good, and it's 5 stars. Alrighty, so what next? Let's see, it's only 1 target. That's good. This team is really suited for it because my main DPS is a melee unit, so it won't be evading like it does to ranged units, and then we're making use of the weather, so we're getting extra lightning damage, which is really cool. So this should go by in a flash, I hope. Anyway, I was about to mention that, you know, I think the game is taking a really good, it's moving in a really good direction in terms of F2P. Not that I would know too much about it because, you know, I do gacha a lot, but they have been adding a lot of stuff that even people like me who do a lot of gacha have been able to use as well. Stuff like the musician set. You you know, even stuff like Picasso is really commonly used. And then they're also adding stuff like Hubble, Darwin, the home theater set. I'm not too sure if that's useful, sorry about that. And Tchaikovsky, which has been recently used by quite a few people as well. So those are some really good additions in a step towards like an F2P friendly kind of environment. Of course, the account is not going to compare to people who furiously do gacha, like more furiously than even me. I'm just mid-level, or maybe even slightly lower than mid-level now that I've known a lot of people who actually pull like so much more than I do. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I have recently been like writing down stuff, my thoughts on gacha and mobile games and stuff like that, and I will be doing videos talking about these stuff, and it's not like a game-specific video like, you know, the ones I do on Honkai or the other games that I play. So I'm really excited to be releasing this kind of content on the channel, and if you do like discussing stuff about mobile games, please drop by and share your comments. It would be really helpful because I've never done anything like that before. And yeah, you know, mobile games is something that has been picking up for quite a while. There have been even like ports of certain really widely played games on PC coming to the mobile scene. So, you know, it's something that's really worth exploring and talking about, and it's really one of my hobbies. That's why I spend so much on it. You know, it's not that much, really, but still, it is a controversial topic, and not everyone agrees on spending on mobile games, or games in general, which is kind of odd, because if you were to buy, like, a console, and you want to play a game on the console, you'd also have to buy that console game. So everything it's about spending. It's just that this one, you know, there doesn't seem to be a limit to it, and that's one of the points that I'm going to be touching on and talking about. There can be a limit to it, but it really depends on the individual, and, you know, if you let yourself go out of control, then that's on you and not on the industry itself. Some people might not agree with that as well, and that is why I feel that an entire video on a topic like that is warranted, and that's why I've been working on that. So I'm really, really excited about it, so do drop by. As in when these videos are posted, they will be posted soon. And as of now, I'll still be playing all the games that I do, because I really enjoy them. Okay, things are getting really hot in here. It's level 3 bleeding, so it's a good thing my DPS is Shadow Knight, because in Eclipse mode she does take 40% less indirect damage, so she won't be burning up as quickly as the other two, but still, it's really hot. As you can see, it's now level 4, and look at Phantom Iron's HP, that's going down really fast, so I'm not too sure if I'm going to make it through this, and also my Nox player is kind of lagging because I think there is an Android update. But the last time I did that, I couldn't record for 2 days, and I had to fix it, so I'm not gonna do it until I'm finished with the Abyss, and I hope it doesn't kill me. So, the bleeding, or the lag, or the combination of both is gonna kill me. This is cutting it really close, and... whoa! 245 seconds on one, like, normal opponent that's weak against the type that I'm using is kinda scary. But, you know, I might not have, like, the best team combination, so I think I did okay. Alright, so we're going with Phoenix, Lightning Empress, and Valkyrie Pledge, because I have more confidence in this team doing a boss. Mostly because I think Judah is really useful when Helmaru does its dash, if Helmaru does the dash, which is really devastating. I think it could one-hit like any team member in this difficulty, so you gotta be really careful of that. Not to say that Shadow Knight isn't good, just I don't really like having to go in and out of the Eclipse mode, so this is a better choice for myself. Alright, so for the equipment, I have Cinderhawk with the T and M parts of the Musician set with Mutant B on Phoenix. Then I have Raikiri with the, what was that, JST, T and M with Mutant B on Lightning Empress, and the Oath of Judah, Shakespeare T, May Beach Party M, and Auto Apocalypse B on Valkyrie Pledge. So, that's one of the other reasons why I'm not using Shadow Knight, because, you know, if you want to make use of the Mutant Bees, when you go into Eclipse mode, you pretty much can't switch out, otherwise you'll be losing a lot of SP, and by the time you come back in, you probably won't be able to optimize the Newton B durations. So that makes her less viable in terms of bossing if you compare her to the Valkyrie Pledge. And yeah, that's why I said, going in and out of Eclipse mode can be sometimes really annoying. And, I guess it works out pretty well because Valkyrie Pledge is an A-rank Valkyrie, so she's technically easier to obtain, but Judah might be a little hard, so pros and cons. Alright, so that was kind of a blind spot. Quite dangerous. Good thing it's not like a one-hit... Never mind. Anyway, whoa. It's a good thing I survived that. And that was the dash that I was talking about. That's why I used Judah instead of Shadow Knight. Also, it's a good thing Cinderhawk was able to tank that hit for me. Otherwise, I might have, gotten killed in that one hit. So, alright, this is gonna be tricky. Whoa, unbelievable, I'm not taking any damage. I think there was a gap in between those two explosions, so I kind of squeezed my way in there. And then I used the ulti to kind of give me an iframe, and then I used the ultimate evasion to give me a little bit more time to not take damage. And, Jesus, this is getting really dangerous. I'm too close to that rock thing. Okay. Alright, so I used that ulti to kind of give me an iframe as well. And this might kill me. Is it going to? Wow. Oh yeah, just making my way through based on luck. And, I did have an ultimate right there, so I could have used it to, enter an iframe and secure the kill. But anyway, I made it, so doesn't matter. Okay, so due to the lightning resistance, I have changed the main DPS to the 6 Serenade. And also, I have taken out Lightning Empress for Valkyrie Chariot. She's basically just there to be an attractor. So her equipment will be, what was it? Oh yeah, the Musician set TNM with Bronya Sloth for, the SP regeneration. And then, the weapon, you don't really need a weapon for that, so you can just equip anything. And then Phoenix will also have support Stigma. She will still be using Cinderhawk, but she will be using JST TNM with, this time, I'm not using Newton B, so I'm using Schrodinger Band B. Yeah, for faster charging, just gonna change things up and see if it works. And then for the 6 Serenade, well, it's pretty standard. She can basically only use the Tranquil Arias and Nohime set. Although I have used her with Robert Perry, and that worked out too. So you can change things up, but not too much. And there we have it. So why I'm using an attractor with the 6 Serenade is because when we got her trial runs, that's what they did, right? You stepped into that circle of light, and then there was this attractor thing, and then you could do your ulti. So I'm just following the example that was given. Sometimes it's useful. So, Void Explosion, it does have kind of a new animation, not all that new, but, added with this update, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I do really like the new animation. It looks kind of shinier and smoother, I guess. But also, something about Void Explosion is that, and I'm sure most people already know this, it causes bleeding, so it's better used with Shadow Knight, who I can't use here because they have lightning resistance. But you could also use it with Luna Kindred, Night Squire, and the not-so-commonly used Violet Executor, who I'm really excited about because, if you follow the story, they said that she's only at 15% of her power. So I don't know, we might be expecting a rework, maybe an augmented core, or an awakened form. Well, whichever it is, I'll be looking forward to it. Okay, we are back. So I did try this mob out once, and it didn't really work out. So I switched Valkyrie Chariot out for Wolfston, and I think it's gonna work. So here we go. Okay, so that right there, that's why I don't usually use Wolfston, and it's gonna be quite a problem. So I might have made a mistake, but I'm just gonna stick to this team. So let me explain. What happened was that I do have JST on Wolfston, and you have to like set that Blue Phoenix field, right? So Bunny 19C is pushing them out of it, so I'm not making use of the extra elemental damage that I'm getting from that, even though JST does have that other passive that increases the allies' ice damage. That's all I'm getting. But like I said, I'm probably not gonna change the team right now. Just gonna get through this, and then we'll see what's what later. Oh, there we go again. Look at that, they're just right outside the field. Come on. Yeah, this is not going the way I thought it would be. Well, kind of. I mean, I do know about Bunny 19C, like, shoving everyone everywhere, but I just forgot about it, I guess. Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so I think this video is gonna be a little bit too long, or maybe really long. So, in case there are any stuff that you guys don't want to see, or, you know, whatever it is that you think it's good and should stay in the video, for any game mode that's this long in the future, please do let me know in the comments. Although, my intention was that, I wanted to show all the fights from start to finish, so you get an idea of how hard or how easy they could be. And yeah, but you know, squeezing all of those fights into one video apparently takes too long a period of time. This isn't like Red Lotus where you can finish everything quickly, and I couldn't do a stream either because I split all the fights into different times. I didn't like sit down and do the Dirac from the first floor to the last floor. Some of them are done like a few hours apart. So yeah, maybe in future I might have to plan my time, and if I do have the ability to do a stream, then I'll try to do that. Whoa, right into battle. Okay, so time to bring out the all-powerful queen. Yep, even though it's like a full mech stage, you know, she's still really powerful, and that's why people use her for the entire Abyss. So if you're weak against the type that you're fighting, you have a 30% lowered damage, right? Is that correct? You deal 30% less damage. But in the Herrscher form, the Herrscher of the Void does an additional 30% to mech, so she kind of covers up for it. Maybe in the calculation you might lose like a little bit of percentage, but still, it's pretty much 100% or extremely close to it. And then if you're like against psychic enemies, it's even better because they're weak against you, and if you're against, you know, creature enemies, then it's a neutral thing, and that means she's strong in any situations. Also, you know, she's extremely mobile and she has extremely high damage. The only main point about her that's, you know, might not be accessible to everyone is that you need her and her entire set. So, aside from that though, I mean, she is like the one really good investment. So like, if you were F2P and you've been saving up all your crystals for like an S-rank guarantee, she is the one to go for, because even if you didn't have her full equipment, you probably have like some physical damage stigmata out there, and she's gonna be really useful. If not for the damage that she deals, the mobility and the ability to cover the map with damage, like damage all over the place. That is really useful, and no other Valkyrie can really do that at this point in time. Okay, so this is a single target, and I decided to show one of my weird combinations. I mean, some people think it's weird. I think it's okay. It's the Celestial Hymn, and then you use her Impair, and that triggers the QTE of Umbral Rose, which comes in with a Time Fracture, and that triggers the Herrscher of the Void, and that's pretty much it. So I might be wasting one slot because the Umbral Rose does not give any out of the field passives, but what the hell, I'm really comfortable with this one, so I use it really often. On a lot of bosses, especially in the Red Lotus, where I always am. So yeah, I thought I'd showcase it once in a while. Alright, so we're finally done here, and I think from this point on, I'm not gonna switch the Herrscher of the Void out. And for this boss, I'm not gonna change the team either, so it's just gonna stick with this one. Oh, that's surprising. I mean, the shield is kind of easy to break, so I don't know. If I could keep it in that state, that would be really ideal. And since we have the assistance from the elf, yep. Okay, this might be easier than I thought, but I might have spoken too soon, so we'll just find out. Alright, so in case you're wondering if it's better to use like a Psychic or Elemental against Baldur, well, Baldur is kind of devastating if it gets close to you. That's why I use the Herrscher of the Void to maintain a distance. Also, when it goes like in its Berserk mode at, lower HP and it turns red, it'll do that ulti that it has where it's like spinning the lasers, and that is really powerful. Even in Red Lotus, I think it could like take you out in one hit. So you gotta be really careful of that, and the Herrscher of the Void has the appropriate iframes or evasion to really get you out of that situation, and that's why I go with her. And also, yeah, for damage, she is just about the best damage dealer. I have tried other teams. Maybe some of the Psychic teams can deal slightly more or just be on par with her, but they don't have the kind of mobility that she has. And apparently in this situation, they can't break the shield as quickly as she can, and keep Baldur in that state where he's not doing anything. Alright, here we go. So, I don't want to get hit by this one. Oh, that's it? I thought it'd spin more, but that's really good. That was kind of unexpected. I mean, it's Myriad, so I thought Baldur, might be a little harder. But apparently as long as you keep breaking its shield, no problem. Okay, so we're now on the final floor of the Dirac Sea, and they are supposed to be weak against ice. But I initially used the Argent Knight, and after that I used Memento. They didn't do too well, so we're back to the Herrscher of the Void. She is really powerful, which is fitting because she's that powerful in the story as well. I don't think there's any Valkyrie that could compare to her combat capabilities at this point in time, but maybe in the future. So we already know who's coming out for 3.1, we already have speculations for 3.2, so they're not gonna be the Valkyrie that I hope to see. The Valkyrie that I'm really excited to see is Cecilia. And initially I thought, she might be one of the awakened forms of Kiana, but apparently not, and since they're not using the same weapon, it might be quite an issue. But since Durandal has appeared in the story, she really opens up the way for Cecilia to be introduced as well, because they're using the same weapon. So I'm really excited about that prospect. In terms of combat, they might actually be as strong as the Herrscher of the Void because of how strong they are in the story. But it doesn't really matter. I'm just thinking that it might be a really cool addition to whatever we have right now. And I'm really excited to see what kind of skill sets they have, because they haven't really shown like their combat in the flashbacks or in the parts of the story that they have appeared in. But we do know that the weapon that they're using is called Shadow Orchid, and I think it's the first Sacred Relic. So that'll be exciting, how they'll introduce them in the story and how they'll be introduced in gameplay as well. I will definitely be ready, and I will definitely pull for them if they were ever to come out. Okay, so things are getting hot here. We're at bleeding level 2, and the rate that it increases the level accelerates, so it's not gonna be like level 0 where it takes a really long time to get to level 1. After level 1 to 2, 2 to 3 is even faster, and I think 3 to 4 is even faster, so I'm gonna have to pick this up a notch. I think I do have an ulti on the Herrscher of the Void. Should be able to take it down with the damage from the ulti and the iframe that it'll put me in. It could save some of my HP. Okay, this is gonna be risky. Look at how quickly the HP is going down, and we are fast approaching bleeding level 4. We are now at bleeding level 4, but we made it. Whoa, that was close. That was scary. That is how hard it is to get past Myriad, and there are gonna be a few fights that I definitely won't be able to get past. I'm gonna change up my team right now to probably Snowy Sniper. Okay, so we are back with a proper team, and I have tried this one, almost got past it, but you know, this is gonna be like my second attempt. So anyway, as you can see, there is a trap over there, so I'm not gonna go over. That's why I use the Herrscher of the Void to use a long-range attack to kind of pull the fight in this direction. And yeah, so now I have a properly set up team. Let's do this. Okay, so as a double S Herrscher of the Void, I shouldn't have done the ulti directly after the snap with 2 bars. So if you do only have 1 bar, then it's okay, but if you do have 2, it's good to like make use of the extended Herrscher form to do 1 more space core. It can also act as like a small attractor to kind of pull everyone together, and the core will be attacking while your ulti is charging up and attacking. So it's a really good combination. But, you know, if you're at 1 bar of the Herrscher gauge, then just go ahead and do it, because it's probably gonna run out when you're doing the ulti. But if you do have 2 bars, then the rationale behind it is that you don't want to be wasting time while you're in the Herrscher form, because you're not like always gonna be in it. So you want to be in it as for as long a duration as possible. So you want to make full use of it, and that's why you go for 1 more Void Core. Then you do the LT, and then it brings you back up to like 2 bars, and then you can do more Void Cores, which deal more damage, and that's a lot more efficient. Okay, this is getting way too dangerous. Look at the rate my HP is going down. This is bleeding level 3, and it's already halfway to bleeding level 4. I might be able to get like 1 more ulti out of this, yep, and 1 more deployment of the relic. And we're going to Snowy Sniper, and... Okay, bleeding level 4. This is gonna be really dangerous. The Herrscher of the Void does have some resistance against indirect damage. And I think we're done. Yep. Whoa, that was really close. Okay, so I've tried this one a few times, and I didn't get past it. But I'm just gonna show you guys how hard it is. And yeah, then you can understand, like... I mean, I think it's because I lack Gustav Klimt, but... I don't know, maybe it's just me not being able to handle the situation, or maybe some parts of my team isn't really set up properly. And also, I'm not entirely sure how to use that trap that I just activated. It's supposed to lower the SP cost and cooldown on skills. It says weapon skills, but it should work on ultis as well, that's what I was told. But it's only there for 5 seconds, so you have to like squeeze all your skills in that 5 seconds, which I think I actually can, but yeah, not gonna rely on that. Just gonna show you guys like a normal run through, and then we're pretty much done here. So I have run this with Tranquil Arias on the Herrscher of the Void, and the results are just about the same. So I'm going with the Keys of the Void because I prefer it, but you know, either way, I don't think it's that one factor that's causing it. To me, I really think it's Gustav that I don't have, because if you do have it, you'll have an additional like 30% physical damage. It lasts for 8 seconds, which is quite a long time, and then it has a 16-second cooldown, so it's just an 8-second gap before you can use it again. So it's not really a really long time to be waiting, and you know, people use it on boss rotations. If that short period of time they can activate it twice, then why not in a fight like that where you can keep using it constantly, right? So I'll show you guys the lineups once we're done with this battle. As you can see, everyone who has gotten past 40,000 points does have Gustav Klimt M, and anyone who hasn't does not have it. So I think it's a fair assumption. So we're already at bleeding level 2, and it's not looking good because we're not even like halfway there. So yeah, it's probably gonna run until like level 3 or 4, and we're pretty much gonna be done there. Yeah, I'm done with this. Okay, so here we are, and just gonna show you guys, you know, anyone above 40,000 points definitely has Gustav Klimt somewhere in their lineup, and, you know, anyone below it usually doesn't. So that's a really major factor in, you know, getting enough damage to clear the Myriad Abyss, or Myriad Dirac C. So yep, unfortunately I don't have it. This person who's also at 40,000 does not have it, you know, and that's my point. So let me know in the comments, do you guys think that Gustav Klimt M is one of the factors that is causing people to not get past some of the stages in Dirac C? And I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it's really long, so if you guys do have any suggestions on how I might do Dirac C videos in the future, not that I do them really often, so that's why it's done the way it is. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on what you like to see, what you don't like to see, please add it in the comment section down below. I hope you have enjoyed this video so far. And if you have gotten right here to the very end of this video, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys soon.